Sam, this JayArson with NolaCulture, you hear me?
Yeah, they got me aiming on my guns in the mirror. Yeah, yeah. I swear if I ain't love you, nigga, yeah. They got me aiming on my guns in the mirror. Yeah, yeah. I swear if I ain't love your kids, I've been stabbed in the back so much it feel like a tickle. These hoes got me paranoid. How they all on my pickle? Feel like they trying to set me up. So I stay with the pistol. Drums with the 50 shots. Swear to God I won't miss you. Plus my girl always tripping, man. I swear she got issues. She think I'm fucking these bitches. I know I'm chasing these riches. Sometimes I get high and aim my guns at the mirror. Smarter line, but at least it helped me see a look clear. Worth a meal on the low, but I'm broke, it ain't a joke. Fight my demons, I went from selling coke to doing coke. Sipping lean, speed, ballin', stunning hard with the gear. I swear I'm thanking my Jackson who taxed me this year. Yeah.
So we got JayArson.
Yeah.
And so I want to know right now for the people, what part of the city did you grow up in?
Downtown.
Downtown, like the 7th Ward?
Like, you asked me a question. People never ask me where you specifically grew up. I grew up all over New Orleans, like, personally, like, you know. And when I'm in interviews, I never really get a chance to specifically address that because people never ask me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm New Orleans. That's how I feel.
That's what's happening.
Yeah.
So, all right, like you was born like in the late 80s, right?
Yeah, definitely.
And I want to, like, you know, cause I see it like your dad was like a gospel singer, R&B singer.
Yeah, Pops was a singer in the church or whatnot.
Yeah, and your mother, I think she was listening to a lot of soulful music and stuff around you as you growing up.
Listened to everything. Rod Stewart, Tracy Chapman was big in the rotation. I mean, Al Green, Isley Brothers, and I think that's a part of why I like to do samples a lot.
Yeah, that's what I want to know.
Yeah, because that definitely influenced me. Like my pops being, you know, a gospel singer and all this other stuff. Like my pops played ball and everything, you know what I'm saying? Like I just made a post the other day. I said, "You're son of a supermodel and a ball player." You know what I'm saying? And I really put that in perspective because my mom's like, look like a supermodel, real talk. Like, you know what I'm saying? So yeah.
That's why I was, cause I listened to your music and I see you real talented. So I was like, when I saw that, I was like, there gotta be player made the part in his talent in the music.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, that definitely played a part in the developing who I am today. Like just being around that, you know, learning so much from my pops. My pops was like an activist. Like I'll wake up in the morning and like it'll really be a dude, a Black Panther in the living room, or like, you know, like it'll really be like a Muslim in the living room with a bean pie. Like, you know what I'm saying? I grew up like that. Like I grew up with taking the shit. My pops had Malcolm X books, Martin Luther King books. Like it was nothing else to do. We ain't had cell phones, so I picked the Malcolm X book up and started reading it. So I grew up very different, man.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
like you can tell from the music.
Yeah.
Like on the intro, in the meantime, there was a part in there where it was like, what were 3 things that you need to be successful? And I think it was, you said grind, consistent, and believe.
Yeah.
Like, and I want to know why you chose that, to say that. Like, why did you feel it was important for people to know?
Because being successful is achievable to anyone if they follow those steps. And that was actually an interview from A3C that I took the soundbite from. But like they asked me that on the spot, and I really thought about what would make anybody successful. And anything you're trying to do, if you grind every day, like if you're trying to be a carpenter, you know, you wake up, you grind being a carpenter, you know what I'm saying? Or whatever you're trying to achieve in life, you know, you grind, be dedicated to what you're doing. That's the grind. Believe. Put the belief in yourself, and like, who gonna stop you? Like, you know what I'm saying? With those 3 things, like believe, grind, and consistent. Yeah, if you consistent at anything in your life, like if you consistent, you want to play ball and you work on your jump shot every day, eventually your jump shot go be wet. You know, that's for a person that woke up and didn't know how to play ball. Like every day I wake up and I sharpen my skills on different languages with my kids. Like we do tutorials on how to speak different languages that I don't know consistently. So when he becomes my age, like it's second nature to him. Like, you know what I'm saying? So like it's just, that's how I really live my life. So you know, I don't just be saying stuff out of my head in interviews and stuff like that. They really be real life experiences, you know what I'm saying?
That's dope, man. That's why I want to know that, because it was like, that's something that I don't see a lot of artists do.
Yeah.
Like, they try to cut them off from being a human being, like they just like some kind of superhero and they untouchable.
That's crazy. Like,
you know,
like, dude, like I got kids, like I got a mom, like, you know, like I smile, I laugh, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I joke with my partners, like no man is whoever all day, like that's unreal. Right. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like when I'm out in public and, you know, I see other people and they mugging at me, they think I'm about to mug. I'm not even worrying about that, like, cause I'm so far removed from trying to keep a persona for the public.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of rappers trying to keep a persona like they this or they that. People in general, like they so busy caught up in trying to appease what people think really is cool to where they forget to be themselves.
Right.
Like I wake up in the morning every day looking in the mirror. I got a song called Mirrors on the album.
That's dope. I like that
so
song.
You know, I really self-reflect daily.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I heard Pac say it before, you know, and that's even before, like, Pac was like, you know, he could look in the mirror and face his flaws. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I didn't even know he said it, but I went back and I heard it and I was like, man, that's how I live my life. I could wake up and face my flaws. Like, you know, and anybody should be able to do that. It'll help you be a better person.
All right, so I don't know if you know, but Hurricane Arlene,
yeah,
like she was the one reached out. She put me on to you.
Yeah, that's
like,
dope.
You know what I'm saying? I'm talking. Like I didn't want to know like what y'all relationship is, like, you know, is it a manager or something?
Arlene do like public and PR work for me. You know what I'm saying? Like public relations, like put me in touch with people like you that's doing vlogs and get interviews and what else? Like Arlene like do whatever I needed to do, man. She's been extremely helpful in my transition of becoming a household name. Like, you know, she even submitted packages for me to get like sneaker deals and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So Arlene just, you know, she just like, there's no title for what she do, man. She like a super secretary, super PR, super public relations, like
super dope.
Yeah, she been silent. So shout out to her for, you know, even putting us together, and for us to be able to like put this content to the world and let the people see what you do and let the people see who I am. So I'm thankful for the relationship that we do have. Whatever it is, I don't know what to call it, but it's good. Right. Yeah.
That's good. So, alright, I want to touch on something, cause alright, you were born in the late 80s.
Yeah.
So like that mean that you were born in like a chaotic era. You grew up in a chaotic era. Anybody who know like the 90s, you can kind of see that was like a product of the 80s.
Yeah.
You know, so I want to know like back then it was like more about your reputation. Like versus today, it's like about your social media stats and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely grew up in a different era, man. Where like I had a conversation about this yesterday. Like I grew up in an era where we played outside and we fought outside. And, like, you know, you had to have your fist game right. You know what I'm saying? Like your rep was everything. You protect that. Like now these dudes ratting on each other. They don't care about their rep. You know what I'm saying? Everything is for clout. Like it's just like, you know, I ain't saying the whole new generation on that. I'm just saying for the most part, a lot of people, they ain't who they say they is. I grew up in an era where you had to be who you say you was. Like you had to be, you was that D-boy. You say you that D-boy, you had to do D-boy stuff. You was that killer, you had to do killer stuff. Like you had bras, you had to have a lot of bras. Like, you know what I'm saying? So like, I definitely grew up in an era where authenticity was big. Like I remember growing up in school, like everybody, one thing I admire about the new generation though is that they most acceptable to be themselves in a way. Like meaning like everybody not trying to be a gangster. Like when in my era, like everybody was, you had to be that because that was just the environment. Yeah, like but nah, them dudes, like, they coming out the back room. I don't, you know, if they like that, they like that. They pitching and catching, they pitching and catching. Now, if they, you know, if they want to have a blind mohawk, they got a blind mohawk. We couldn't do that. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, like, you know, I salute that aspect of them being able to be themselves socially, but at the end of the day, it's just different. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it's not even fair to compare them how different they is. So yeah.
Right. So, like, I think a lot of people I be seeing that's trying to get in the industry, it seems like they'll lack the knowledge of the time and the effort that it takes to get in there. And like anybody who probably wasn't tuning into you as your grind, as your growth, they'll probably think you just like got in like right out the back, like JayArson must have joined the Illuminati or something.
Nah.
Like, what would you say to people like that?
I'll say anything is possible. Like, you could be a popcorn. Like, you could just pop up out of nowhere. But realistically, you're going to have to put the work in. You're going to have to put the time in. You're going to have to be away from your family. You're going to have to be away from your girl. You're going to have to do a lot of stuff you don't want to do. You're going to have to be in very uncomfortable situations. If you think you're just about to get in here and you're just about to be 1, 2, 3, this ain't it for you. Now, it can happen for you. Like, anything is possible. Shit, even the trash can get a steak, you heard me? But at the end of the day, like, logically, like, it takes a lot of time that people don't understand with this stuff. Like, example, today, what us doing this, like, it was so much we had to go through to make this happen. Like cameras dying, you know what I'm saying? Like, timing, like, we probably both missed out on some financial situations that we could have advanced on. Like, everything, like, you know what I'm saying? It's just so much loopholes that people get easily discouraged that this not what they really want to do, and then they find out they're like, damn, I ain't signed up for this. I ain't know this part come with it. Like, you can't help what happened with life. Like, you know what I'm saying? Before I got here, I had to give my son that breathing treatment. He got asthma. You know what I'm saying? I cook food for him before I left, so they don't be saying, Daddy, I'm hungry when I'm gone. So it's just like taking care of my household, and also like living regular everyday life, like bills, baby mamas, none of that shit stop. On top of you trying to do this. Like, so you just gotta really be prepared for it. You really gotta put your boots on. You really gotta be ready to go in the red for this shit. You really gotta be able to cry for this shit, like shed blood for this shit, like not sacrificing yourself, but I meant that in retrospect. Like, you know what I'm saying? You really gotta put in the work. Like, you know, your mindset should be put in the work. So if it do happen for you, that's just laying you out. That's a bonus. You feel me?
Yeah. So, all right. So talking about that, on Google, like it said you dropped, I think it's Me Vista Gold, like 2014. Yeah. Like after that, it seemed like you was gone until 2018. Like, and I want to know, like, in between that time, what was going on? You had any kind of problems or something going on?
Definitely. Shit. Man, I was trying to figure out if I wanted to do this shit. I was dealing with legal issues. I was really like living life, like, you know, getting to the bag, like paying lawyer fees, like, you know what I'm saying?
Real life shit.
Yeah, real life shit. Like not understanding, like not understanding what I really wanted to do, but then like what I did, I started putting out singles. So in that gap, I put out singles like Ric Flair that got me buzzed, The Way, me came up, and I really started understanding the business a little bit more. I really started moving around, like meeting people and not getting their phone number, giving them my Instagram, going to Florida, going to Atlanta every week. Like, I started moving around with my brand and started understanding what I needed to do for myself that's helping me now. And like, you know, my homeboy DJ Duff and my DJ, he really like was like, man, what you waiting for? Like, you really, you know, you really got opportunity, you got the talent, you got the look, you really delivering that shit you talking about. Like, you really need to turn it up in a gear. And I thank him for that, you know what I'm saying? Came up always like, I keep God around me, man. What I mean by that is people that love me, like God is love. And like, I keep God around me, and they always like giving me great advice and like, you know, with love. And even if I don't want to hear, like me and my cousin Dale, you know what I'm saying? Like, he always telling me stuff. I be like, damn, you right. And I really like changed my decision on things, something that I would have did myself, but like I keep God around me. So that's what really happened for me, man. People that's around me that support me, my team really like was there for me in the dark, when I was in a dark place and they ain't even know it, you know what I'm saying? And it really like helped me seize the moments like now, like when I'm talking to you and I can reflect on it, you know what I'm saying?
So you definitely got to have a positive team around you.
Definitely, man. Like shout out to Marley, shout out to Illy, shout out to Dell, shout out to PP, shout out to my sister, my mama, man. Like shout out to all the people that's around me, that love me, that support me and give me great advice, man.
That's dope. That's dope. Yeah. So, all right, I saw you like when you dropped that new Disco with PGM. Like you still with PGM?
PGM is me and K Mar's label.
Oh, all right. So that's your.
So that's my label. That's, you know what I'm saying? So everything, all money been in.
Right.
We came in this shit thinking bossed up like. You know, like it's meetings I done had with people. They be like, "Who is PGM?" I'm like, "Man, I'm PGM." They like, how? Like they looking at me like, "How are you PGM?"
Right.
I'm like, "Man, I'm PGM. Me and K-Mar PGM. This shit, we thought about this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like in the trap on the blow up mattress. You know what I'm saying? Like this wasn't no overnight shit. That like back to what we was talking about. Like everything been under PGM. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I would like to keep it. But of course, like we're growing and, you know, single deals and all kind of other stuff that's on the table. Like, you know, things might change, but it's partnerships. Like I ain't signing nothing like that unless it's a lucrative amount of money or a lucrative situation. But for the most part, everything PGM.
Right. That's what's up. That's what's up. So that means that you really independent. Like
really independent. Nigga ain't never gave me shit. Nigga ain't never gave me a bologna sandwich.
Right.
I swear.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like nowadays people gift wrapping, they poison bologna sandwiches. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't need the sandwich now. I was hungry 2014. Like, you know what I'm saying? I was hungry 2010.
Right.
Like, you know, I'm still hungry, but I mean like the hunger for like needing like help in a different situation. There's people that have helped me along the way. I can't forget, like shout out Crack Tracks. Crack, I don't know if you familiar with Crack, bro, but Crack work with Rock Nation. Like Jay-Z shouts this man out in songs. So, so you know what I'm saying? Like Crack took me on the road with him, man. I never forget that, and brought me on stage like at a point in time where at the level of artistry I was, like it's stuff that I probably would have had to pay for, but you know, he showed me some love, he showed me real love, you know what I'm saying? Like A3C, he showed me love while me and my niggas in there, was like 30 of us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, Law always showed me some real love, man. Shout out to Law. He just recently put out the playlist too. You heard me 2 playlists. I made the playlist. You know, I'm humbled by that, thankful for that. Like being able to put on for the city. It's just like a few people in there, like, you know, that really, you know, like saw what I was doing and assist me. But far as like getting this shit out the mud, like nigga be saying they got the shit out the mud, but I really got the shit out the mud. Like me and K-Mar, like getting into it about this shit, like, you know what I'm saying? Like this shit real. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like we not seeing eye to eye, and you know, but that's my brother, so it was a positivity that came out of it. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, you know, like we independent for real. Niggas be talking that shit, like, but we independent. Like ain't nobody never gave us a penny. That's what I mean by sandwich. Like I done got a few opportunities, but like I ain't never got nothing. And I pride myself on that. And if it do happen, like I'm thankful for what anybody do for me. Like I said, that shit lying after me, cause I'm gonna do it anyway. Right. Yep.
That's how it should be.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if you saw that Misdemeanor interview I did.
I did watch like I didn't watch the whole thing. Like, I ain't gonna lie, but I did watch a lot of it. And being Misdemeanor is somebody that I model success behind. You know what I'm saying? Like that dude is iconic for this culture. You know what I'm saying? So like, you know, I watched it though.
Yeah, like you talked about the like support in the city and stuff like that. Yeah, and that's why it was good that you touched on that, and you talked about you getting some support from people. Yeah, but you know it's still like it's scarce in the city. You know, like you feel that way. Like
I mean, this is how I feel on this, bro. I feel like it's your job as an artist to make whoever need to support you. Like, I wish it was different Like we could say, yeah, it's a lot more shit people could do for artists in the city, and like, you know, whatever. But it's your job as an artist to make the people want to support you. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I feel on it. Like, you know, and that's why I do whatever I can in my power to make sure that moving forward that you can't go nowhere without saying you can't mention New Orleans and not say JayArson. That's my goal. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's one of my goals. Like, I got so many goals, but I'm saying, like, when you think of New Orleans rappers, like JayArson name go fly out your mouth. That come from my work ethic. You know what I'm saying? And that was my goal, like, to not make it a question, not make it a debate, not get them a reason to not support me. Right. So, you know, I'm still working on it daily. Like, I'm working on it right now doing this interview. So, you know, that's how I feel on that. I mean, you know, things could be different here, but I ain't about to get into all that. I'm just about to keep doing what I'm doing. Right. Yeah. That's the most important thing, to focus on, like, everything that you're doing. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because if you're worrying about somebody else, you can't worry about yourself. Yeah, you running a race. You look in the other lane, what's gonna happen to you? Crash. You gonna crash, you gonna lose. Like, right. You know, you gonna crash and lose. So you wanna hurt yourself and you wanna lose? I don't wanna hurt myself and lose, so I'm tuned in to whatever Jay got going on. I mean, I see the competition, I see what people doing, and I learn from it, positive and negative, not what to do and what not to do. Right. And I just keep it moving. So that's the fucking game plan.
But that I look just like my fucking pop. R.I.P. Pops. Real shit, JayArson. In the meantime, too. Let's go. Yeah, they got me aiming on my guns in the mirror. Yeah, yeah. I swear if I ain't love you, nigga, yeah. They got me aiming on my guns in the mirror. Yeah, yeah. I swear if I ain't love your kids, I've been stabbed in the back so much it feel like a tickle. These hoes got me paranoid. How they all on my pickle? Feel like they trying to set me up. So I stay with the pistol. Drums with the 50 shots. Swear to God I won't miss you. Plus my girl always tripping, man. I swear she got issues. She think I'm fucking these bitches. I know I'm chasing these riches. Sometimes I get high and aim my guns at the mirror. Smarter line, but at least it helped me see a look clear. Worth a meal on the low, but I'm broke, it ain't a joke. Fight my demons, I went from selling coke to doing coke. Sipping lean, speed, ballin', stunning hard with the gear. I swear I'm thanking my Jackson who taxed me this year.